Good morning. It's good to see you here at First Baptist Church this morning. Let me welcome you. We've all been privy to the news about the Delta variant, that's now making its way. Of course, here in Yancey County, you've probably noticed the numbers. And I think we're all disappointed. I think we're all ready to move beyond COVID-19. Just one of the things we know about this virus is it doesn't matter what we want. It does not respect our viewpoints. And so we're encouraging folks this morning to social distance, and it looks like you folks are doing that this morning and wearing your mask for your own protection. And we at this church have been very cautious. We didn't want to be a source of an outbreak for our county. So we're all gathering this morning cautious and also grateful that we could be here this morning. It is Communion Sunday, and probably the trickiest thing you'll do all day is manage this cup. It is tricky. There's a little thin film that you can pull off to get to your wafer. So you pull the thin film off first as we break bread together this morning. And then after you do that, you get to the second layer, the film that keeps the juice in the container. Our deacons and I both agreed that we would share communion this morning in the safest way possible, so there's no passing of the plate and no germs to spread among ourselves. So I hope you've got your cup. And I know all of you have your mask on, so thank you this morning. And now let us continue our worship of God together as we worship and think about the bread of life.
Please join me as we read our call to worship. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. We are hungry for the bread of heaven." Jesus said, "The bread of God gives life to the world. We are hungry for eternal life." Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." We are here to become what we already are, the body of Christ, food for a hungry world.
Pray with me. Thank you for our time together this morning. We are hungry people. It's true, we often get confused about what we're hungry for. We always come back to you, because nothing in this world can satisfy our deepest hungers like you, the bread of life, broken and given to the whole world. We gather in your name. Amen.
I'm reminded this morning of the fruits of the Spirit, including patience, sometimes called long-suffering. I have a hard time understanding suffering as a Christian. Tim Babb doesn't suffer. Wearing a mask, not being able to sing as a congregation, I still don't think that constitutes suffering. But it does test my patience. And maybe even test is not the right word. We will sing in our hearts this morning. And that's where we will sing. Let us break bread together. But I do encourage you to open your hymn books. Sing in your hearts along with us this morning as we do this wonderful spiritual that has been passed down through our African Americans, who have so many times hit the true heart of the meaning of what we're here today.
Let us break bread together on our knees. Let us break bread together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with a face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us drink the cup together on our knees. Let us drink the cup together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us praise God together on our knees. Let us praise God together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me.
Our scripture reading this morning comes from John 6, verses 24 through 35. Once the crowd realized that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they got into their boats and went to Capernaum in search of Jesus. When they found him on the other side of the lake, they asked him, "Rabbi, when did you get here?" Jesus answered, "Very truly I tell you, you were looking for me not because you saw the signs I performed, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill. Do not work for food that spoils, but for food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you. For on him God the Father has placed his seal of approval." Then they asked him, "What must we do to do the work God requires?" Jesus answered, "The work of God is this, to believe in the one he has sent." So they asked him, "What sign then will you give that we may see it and believe you? What will you do?" "Our ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness. As it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat." Jesus said to them, "Very truly I tell you, it is not Moses who has given you the bread from heaven, but it is my Father who gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is the bread that comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." "Sir," they said, "always give us this bread." Then Jesus declared, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty."
The people in our text today were searching for Jesus. And they found Jesus. They found him on the other side. You probably noticed these people seem to have checked a lot of familiar boxes. There was nothing casual about their search for Jesus. That's a good thing. We could check mark there. It wasn't like they just stumbled upon Jesus. We could give them a check mark there. They had what seems like an intense search for Jesus. They sought him out. They were persistent in their search. And they also recognized that Jesus had real power. Surely we can give them a check for that. And it is apparent that they seemed to be following Jesus because they were hungry. Could we give them a check for that one? Well, so it seems in our day that you and I can search for Jesus too. That you and I can have a lot of the right boxes checked. But could it be that the boxes we have checked might not be at all the right ones? They might not be the right boxes. We see Jesus being a little out of character. This kind of Jesus can make you nervous because he gives these people what seems to be a pretty strong rebuke. I mean, for people who had been searching for him, people who had been persistent, people who were hungry. He gives them a strong rebuke. Now, they were blown away by the power that he had. But isn't it apparent that they were trying to find a way to harness the power of Jesus? Some of them just couldn't wait to overthrow the Roman Empire so that they could finally have the power that they thought they deserved. Now, before we're too critical of these people, I think a good place for us to start is to admit that we're a lot like them. Don't we often have a list of things that we desire from Jesus? Aren't we hungry and we come searching for Jesus with our list in hand? I mean, I have a list, I'm sure you brought your list with you today. Things we all really would love and like to have from Jesus. How about good health? Does that make your list? Yeah, makes mine. We love to have good health. We want good health and good health care. It would be great to have a really nice bank account. That's always nice, isn't it? To have a good cushion in case there's a rainy day. It's nice to have a fully stocked pantry. Never know when the power's going to go out or something might happen. It's wonderful to have a nice stocked pantry and a good packed freezer. And on top of all that, don't we all want the good life? Whatever that is. That's on our list. The good life. Free of trouble and free of worries. It wouldn't be bad to have a slightly larger house. Or maybe a second one. That'd be okay. Especially if it's overlooking the ocean or some beautiful mountain. We all are more like these people in the text than we'd ever dare admit. I often think about it this way, how great it would be if I could just be a Christian on the Appalachian Trail. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, you've been on the Appalachian Trail, surely. Surely you've been on the Appalachian Trail someplace. But wouldn't it be great if we could just be Christians on the Appalachian Trail, together with Jesus? We could travel across the trail to the mountaintops, on top of the vistas, overlooking miles and miles of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Breathtaking. It's just a place where it's just you. It's just you and God. Oh, and then the trees and the splendor of nature. A nice breeze blowing through your hair, if you have any. But we want Jesus to do for us what we believe is best for us. Some of us might desire for Jesus to return the church or the culture back to 1950. Wouldn't that be grand if it was 1950 all over again? All the pews would be packed. Those were great years for the church. Big buildings and huge budgets. I mean, where else would you go on a Sunday? I mean, where else could you go in 1950 on Sunday? And everybody who was somebody went to church. I thought about that. I thought about all my neighbors I grew up with, and I think all of us, at different places, but all of us down the street, up the street and down the street, were underneath the steeple in the 70s when I grew up. It was the 1950 church, and some people say they want it back. Some people even say it's coming back. But there's one thing that we don't like to talk about, and that's how the 1950 church was more like the culture than it was like Jesus. It's apparent to me it was. And I wonder if Jesus might tell us what he told those people that went to all this trouble searching for him, long and hard. They even got in a boat to go to Jesus. None of us got in a boat to come to church this morning. A car that has gas in it. Turn a switch. These people rowed a boat to the other side. And what a thing to say to them. He seemed so rude after they had traveled to find him. He seemed so rude. Doesn't he? But I wonder if what he said to them is what he might say to me or to you. In a day where almost everyone really loves doing exactly what we like to do, when we want to do it and how we want to do it, it's an individualistic culture we live in. Very individualistic. And we're told this. Do whatever you want to do. What makes you feel good? Oh, and if there's something you need, just go to Amazon. It'll be at your front door in 2 days. That's if you've got Amazon Prime. For these hungry people that were searching for him, they were hungry. It seems legitimate, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound legitimate? that they sought him out because they were hungry? I don't know. But Jesus doesn't like it. He's not impressed. And he looks at them and says, I am the bread of life. And you know what bread meant in that culture. I mean, it's different for us. But bread in that culture is more than what it is in our day. It's sort of an appetizer for us. But for those people, bread was life. It was indeed a necessity. Without bread, you don't live. And isn't it true that we all fill our lives with something? All of us fill our lives with something. And sometimes we don't even know sometimes what we're looking for, what we're hungry for. We don't even know. And much of what we feed on just doesn't satisfy. It only leaves us desiring more. You know, several years ago when we changed our diet, I thought we'd be hungry all the time. And of course, that's the way I've been all my life, is hungry. But when we started eating more fruits and vegetables, I was delighted at how filling it was. Surprised. I once mentioned that a long time ago, I said this. It didn't go over so well, but I said, I wonder if the church has become more like a buffet bar. You know what a buffet bar is. We don't have as many now as we used to. But that's where you can just go and fill yourself up. And you know how it is with a buffet. You got to get your money's worth. Right? You got to make sure you don't get cheated. And so what do you do at the buffet bar? Well, you just eat. And you just eat. And you just eat. And hopefully you get it for a really cheap price. I said a long time ago that I don't think the church is a buffet bar. And neither is Jesus. He is bread. He is life. He is love. And he just isn't a lot of things that we want Jesus to be. He just will not conform. He isn't religion. He isn't our brand of politics. He just isn't a system. Jesus is love. And it's the only way we can ever be satisfied, is to take him in. Take him in. Take all of Jesus and take him in. Jesus must be absorbed. It's to let love come into all those places that are hungry in you and hungry in me. All those places that are so empty in you and so empty in me. Like a bottomless pit, he fills it. I don't know how, but love feels it. And when we take Jesus in, this bread of life, those hunger pains somehow cease. And I don't know how. But we have in Jesus what we can't have on our own. And we are to take Him in and keep on taking Him in. I don't know what a lot of people are doing today. Maybe they're on the Appalachian Trail. He's there too. He's everywhere. But so are a lot of hungry people. And the only way they'll ever have bread is because of you and me. Because you see, when you take Jesus in and you absorb His love, then you too become bread. Filled and satisfied, we can give away what overflows. Real bread. Life. Real life. Love. Real love. Amen.
In remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance
So just like in our text this morning, all of us have gone to the other side searching for Jesus. And isn't that why we bothered to come? Because there was something down here that we knew that only Jesus could fill. And so we bothered to row to the other side and meet with Jesus. And just like the people in the text, we're hungry too. And Jesus looks at you and me and he says, are you really hungry? I mean really hungry for something that really satisfies. Everlasting life and love. But you've got to take it in. All of it. And let it fill all those empty, broken places in your life. Because it can. And we don't know how. And so this morning we all gather together to let Jesus fill that broken, empty place that's way down in our lives. Nothing else can fill it. A bigger house or a better car, more money in our accounts. None of that will give us what we so desperately need. So welcome to the table, hungry people. And just imagine yourself this morning absorbing Jesus, taking him in through the bread. I am the bread, he said. I am the juice. Take him in, absorb him, and let love fill you all the way. And so on the night in which Jesus was betrayed, that very last night, he was with his disciples and he took the loaf, and when he had given thanks, he broke it. And he looked them in the eyes and he says, whoever eats of this bread, you're taking me in. The bread of life broken for you and me. And in the same way, he took the cup after supper. And he said to them, this is the new covenant of my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. Take it in. And so whoever eats of the bread and whoever drinks of the cup, whoever takes Jesus in and absorbs his love, he says, shall live forever. Amen.
And so we leave this place. Jacob comes down And with us, the light of Christ leaves this place and goes beyond these walls. I want you to refer back to what we just sang in the verse of "in remembrance." You can read these words in the bulletin. And in everything you do this week, do it in remembrance of Him. Heal the sick, care for someone, feed the poor, give to someone, open a door, give hope to someone. Amen.